Today's episode is sponsored by Jane, a clinic management software and EMR. The Jane team knows that when your workday is spent providing care to your patients or clients, it can feel like there aren't enough hours in the day for the rest of your admin tasks. This can mean that scheduling appointments becomes after-hours tasks, turning what should be restful evenings into extra long work days. That's why Jane has designed user-friendly online booking, so you can give your patients the freedom to book their appointments at their own convenience, whether that's after hours or on weekends. Patients can also manage their appointments, fill out intake forms, and enable SMS and email reminders from their secure online portal, which saves you from having to manually do it. To see how Jane can help you reclaim your evenings and weekends, head to jane.app to book a personalized demo. Or if you're ready to get started, you can use the code WELLNESS1MO at the time of sign up for a 1-month grace period applied to your new account. Hi there, and welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. I'm Kendall Hagenson.
And I'm Anna Rudell. We're thrilled to have you join us on this journey of creating innovative, patient-centered wellness centers.
As experienced health and wellness providers, we've seen firsthand the challenges of delivering comprehensive, holistic care to our patients.
That's why we created this podcast, to share the knowledge, strategies, and insights we've gained from our own experiences and from connecting with experts in the field.
Each episode, we'll dive into a different aspect of building and growing a successful wellness center, from developing a strong multidisciplinary team to implementing cutting-edge technologies and treatment approaches.
We'll also share practical tips, resources, and real-world examples to help you overcome common obstacles and streamline your processes.
Our goal is to empower you with the tools and confidence you need to create a thriving wellness center that truly makes a difference in your patients' lives.
So whether you're just starting out or looking to take your existing practice to the next level, you're in the right place.
Get ready to learn, grow, and be inspired. Let's create something amazing together.
Welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. It's 2025. Anna and I are here. Woo! Welcome to 2025. Welcome to new episodes with Wellness Center Creators. And Anna and I will be having some conversations this year, and we are excited to chat with you all. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Kendall. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm really happy to be back in my routine and back at work.
Are you already back in your routine?
I am.
That's impressive.
I am. Yep. I took 2 weeks. I'm doing air quotes since people can't see my face. I took 2 weeks off, and at this time of year with the holiday, and then my older daughter has a birthday right after Christmas, and so it is fun and festive and chaotic and wonderful. It is not restful, and I never expect it to be. Yeah.
Yes. We have the same thing. We have a December the 30th birthday.
Yeah.
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 It's good times.
It's good times. And this year it was a milestone birthday for my daughter. So we went big, and so extra fun.
So how are you feeling going into this new year?
I feel good. My kiddos were they had a hard time with me leaving this morning because they've been off school for a couple weeks and they're going back to school. So my little one, I said I would say hi to her on the podcast today so she can listen to it.
Oh.
So hi, Winnie. I love you so much. Have a great day at school. And she can listen to it later. But I feel good. I feel ready for the new year. I'm big on rituals. I've never been super big on, we have to have this huge ritual on January 1st or December 31st in the new year. I like to have a refreshed type of ritual more often than that. But it still feels like can be new beginnings for certain things. I did a big office organization project and file cabinet organization. And for those of you out there who are clinic owners and you've gotten a little behind in your filing and of some papers and it's just gotten out of control, I just want to say that I see you and it's okay. It's okay. And you can choose a day to just do it. And it was a huge, huge project, actually. And I had, I stopped seeing therapy clients over 2 years ago. And I've had paper files, clinical files from before we went digital from years and years and years ago that I've had long enough now that to shred them or to scan them in to our digital system. So it was a big project and I completed it and I'm proud of myself.
Well, and you did it in one day.
I did it in mostly one day. I had a professional organizer help me she was here for 8 hours. So that is how we were able to do most of it. And then I had a whole pile of paper that needed to be shredded after that. And that took another 2 days. And then halfway through that, I realized my husband decided we should burn it.
Or just take it to a shredding place, Kendall. You take it by the box.
I know, but I just felt with client privacy, it was a lot of client information and employee information. And I didn't feel comfortable and I didn't really know where to take it, to be honest. Like I haven't done a big project like that with shredding. And so I was like, oh, I can do this. And then I broke one shredder and they're overheating and it's a whole thing. So then we decided to burn it and then it's pouring down rain and it's just, it was a major project. But by the end of the weekend, it was done and my office feels amazing.
Excellent. Oh, that's such a fantastic relief, isn't it? I remember when we moved clinics, we had hundreds of paper files to scan and get rid of. And it was such a project.
Yeah. Feels good to be done. Yeah. How about you? How are you feeling coming into the year?
Well, it's been a bumpy new year so far, Kendall. And for our listeners, we are recording on January the 6th, and it feels like it's been a year already. Oh, no. But I do love the beginning of a year. I do love a new beginning, and I love having time off to let my brain sort of chew over things that I don't usually have time to think about. So that was good. But like you, we have festive times and birthdays. And then I made a rookie mistake.
Oh, no.
We went away for, I think it was 5 days scheduled to Southern California. And do you know what I thought, Kendall? And this is the rookie mistake. I thought, I'm not going to take my computer. What can possibly go wrong? No. Thought I.
Oh, no.
Because I'm on a very short break.
It's only 5 days.
And it's a car trip. It's only 5 days, not even. What can possibly go wrong? Yes. I'll leave that hanging for a later conversation.
Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing it maybe has to do with your clinic expansion.
So yes, for those that don't know, at the end of last year, we have a medical complex that Lokahi is situated in, and we can walk to the coffee shop. And every time I'd walk, I'd see this for lease sign, and it was really niggling at me. And I just kept putting it out of my brain. And do I want to do anything? No, I don't. We need more space, yes, but can I be bothered with this? Anyway, eventually the niggle became too loud to ignore. And I reached out to our landlords, who we're in very good standing with, and said, tell me what space is up for rent. And they did. And then that was the beginning of the expansion. So I've now decided to open a massage or a bodywork clinic, which is literally across the parking lot, but it's a totally different vibe to that acupuncture, which is it's much more clinical. We need lots of bright lights so that we can see the needles and, clean up appropriately. So I wanted to open a space that was more bodywork focused. So that's been what's been going on. And the Christmas holidays it was fun, right? It was the creative stuff that you and I both absolutely love. It was going to and from the clinic and making sure the paint colors were good and picking out the flooring and dreaming about the physical space.
Yeah.
But it's busy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on.
So I think our listeners would love to hear about your clinic expansion, because these are the things as entrepreneurs, we create something and then we want to create something else, and we want to create something more, and we want to create something different. And so I think a lot of our listeners might be in that place of thinking about opening a second location or expanding their services or adding a new modality. So you brought this idea my way a few months ago, right? Of thinking about this space is for lease. Should I do it? Let's talk about it. So I kind of want to start at the beginning, and maybe you can share those first few steps of your decision point with the listeners. What made you, what was the catalyst that made you eventually say, you know what, let's do it?
There's been a few little parts of the catalyst, I will say. One of them is that I've been really working since stepping back as a clinician on the systems in the practice. And I've been pondering this actually before this podcast, Kendall. There's a paradox, isn't there? I love a system, but the reason I love a system is not for the system itself. The reason I love a system is so that I can sleep at night, because a system gives me freedom. It gives me freedom from having to worry about the details and the day-to-day processes. And so I got a little bit bored, I'm going to be honest. I got a little bit bored with doing the same old thing and honing the systems and really doing a lot of people managing. So I was looking for something creative. And for me, creative is not the things that many people find creative. I can't sew a button, for example.
Can any of us sew a button, though?
My sister can, Kendall. She does very good buttons and all sorts of things. The sewing machine things. But it's not that for me. And so I wanted something that would spark my fire, but also I realized I have reached what did you call it? A landmark age?
Milestone.
Milestone. I reached a milestone age this year, and I realized I'm not quite ready to hang up my hat. I've probably got, I don't know how many years left, but I need something
hopefully many
to give me. Well, yes, but before I want to plan now before I don't have the energy to do more new and exciting things. So I want to do something new and exciting now with an eye on the future and my exit strategy, right?
Yeah.
At some point. So that was the catalyst. And then this blooming for lease sign that was haunting me every time I went to get a cup of tea or coffee.
Okay. So you decide to jump in, you get the lease. And so over this, holiday, this kind of respite that became you doing a lot for this new clinic or this new formation, expansion of your clinic. So where are you at now? You've done the paint colors, have you done the furniture? You've done the design, kind of the fun, creative part?
Pretty much. I haven't seen the clinic. I have to go there at some point tomorrow. Apparently the floors are in.
Okay.
And at that point I can really start to get a good idea of what I'm dealing with, because I won't be walking through a construction site. It's a small clinic. It's a 4 treatment room space. But what's wonderful about it is it has a huge staff room in the back, which will be enough to fit the whole team. So when we need to have team gatherings, there is now finally a space that we can all meet.
Oh, how wonderful. That's so important.
I'm super, super excited about that, because currently I have to rent a space because we just don't have enough enough to meet. So where am I at now, Kendall? Well, back to the story of what can possibly go wrong. So all this massage practice, or the massage arm, the bodywork arm, is predicated on the fact that we had one wonderful massage therapist already growing in the company. And you should see, listeners, I wish you could see Kendall's face now.
We felt it coming.
We felt it coming. So whilst I'm away on, I think it was January the 2nd, I get a Slack from the front desk, or CC'd on a Slack, and it said, since you didn't show up for work today, I'm cancelling your day, from the front desk. At which point I'm walking around the towns in Southern California and thinking, well, what is my recourse at this point? Now I have an employee who hasn't shown up for work. So long story short, that person is no longer with the company, but I am now rendered I'm in an interesting position. Let's put it that way. I have a rent starting in March. I have hired a massage team lead, thank goodness. But she's not started. We've had to cancel all the massage clients that we've had booked so far, as you well know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And now the screws are on a bit, because I have to hire somebody specifically for sports, deep tissue, neuromuscular work. And so that's where we're at, Kendall.
Anna, I'm sorry. It never fails. I mean, you take 2 days off and you get this type of message. Yeah. Never fails. We had a very similar situation the day that I started on my time off, again, air quotes. And I'm so sorry. Because it really, I'm curious how you felt in that moment. Because I'm sure everyone can relate who's listening. It's like you're on your trip and then you get that message. How do you feel?
At first, I was convinced there must have been a miscommunication. I'm still not unconvinced there wasn't one, if I'm honest, but I wouldn't know, because said person has disappeared into the ether.
Mm-hmm.
Confused, but there was a sense of resolve that I think I haven't had before. It was very clear to me what needed to be done in that moment. And it was actually, I felt quite grounded. It was much more mechanical than I think I've ever felt in that situation, because it was so clear.
Mm-hmm.
And because I didn't have to go in physically and negotiate some awful situation and have a face-to-face conversation. It was very clear this is not a tenable situation for this employee.
And for, just so people understand that this wasn't the first situation that gave you pause about this employee. It really wasn't was to not feel like a good fit potentially. And so then that instance made it very clear. And so then it's easy to make the decision and say, you know what, there's enough leading up to this to make this decision. And I think a lot of leaders, clinic owners who are managing a team are, of course, are helping professionals themselves, as we all are. And so the tendency can be, well, I'm sure there was an emergency. Let me make sure that person is okay, which obviously I'm sure you did as well. And, well, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's make sure, let's try again. And so I just think it's an important lesson to listen to your gut always, and your intuition, and really look at the facts. If this person has, if there's been multiple situations that have given you pause, then this is an easy decision at the end of the day. The culture of ghosting is so real. And, we could do an entire episode on my opinion of ghosting as a mental health therapist. But we just have to know that there's a certain generation of employees who literally ghosting is one of their coping mechanisms in life. And that is how they have learned to communicate. They feel it's a form of communication. I disagree, but we have to realize that that is there. And that sounds like what has happened in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think in hindsight, I mean, this was coming, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was absolutely coming. And the fact that it happened at the beginning of the year, I think offered an opportunity that the new team lead can be a part of building this team in a very positive way, in a way that she feels comfortable with and in a collaborative way with me.
Absolutely. I think absolutely blessing in disguise, always meant to be in these situations, but it doesn't take away from the energy that it pulls from you, in that moment.
Oh yeah.
And you're very seasoned at this by now and well practiced to be able to just move on and let that piece go and say, you know what, we've got a great opportunity to build a new team in a new space and start fresh in that way. And it will be, absolutely the company will be better off in the long run.
Exactly. And I was so grateful because I had both listened to and read the Managing Transitions book going into this new endeavor. And so it was really fresh in my mind of, when the employment was terminated, what the steps I needed to do were to limit the damage to our patients and how we could keep the trust of them. Because when an employee disappears like that, it never reflects well on the company.
No.
And it's such a difficult thing to navigate. So luckily we were able to use the principles in that book and really try and keep open and honest communication with patients, which I think is very important. I mean, obviously I'm not going to say so-and-so was let go.
No, but it's transparency on a need to know type basis, right? It's transparency in a respectful way, but it's still honest, right? This is what happened. Person's no longer here. We're going to have someone new very soon. Would you like us to reach out to reschedule when we have that new person? Excellent. We have these additional services, in the meantime, and, checking in on that personal level.
Exactly. So yeah, that's exactly what we did. And we're just now going to have to figure out the way forward.
Amazing work, Anna. I appreciate you sharing that story. And I want to continue our conversation into your clinic expansion and the steps, the next steps you're going to take. And I can also share about some of the transitions we've had in our clinic in the past, even just 2 weeks. And so we'll hop off and do a part 2 of this conversation next week. We invite everyone to tune in. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Kendall. Well, thank you for listening.
Thanks for joining us on the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. We hope you found the episode insightful and helpful.
Remember to visit our website at wellnesscentercreators.com for show notes, additional episodes, and more resources to help you on your wellness center journey.
We always love hearing from our listeners. Your feedback, questions, and experiences are invaluable to us and help us shape the content we create.
So please don't hesitate to reach out to us anytime. You can contact us through our website or via social media. We're here to support you.
If you know someone who could benefit from the information and insights shared on this podcast, please take a moment to share the show with them. Together, we can help more health and wellness professionals create thriving practices.
Thank you again for tuning in and for being part of a Wellness Center Creators community. Your dedication to providing exceptional patient care is truly inspiring.
We can't wait to share more with you in the next episode. Until then, keep creating, innovating, and making a difference in your patients' lives. See you next time on the Wellness Center Creators Podcast.